Opponent's got a bigger than typical deck. The Gorgon should be lovely. We'll speed this turn, but then Kate and Iron Patriot might go for a spin over here next turn if we brick on Wiccan. I think I would. Oh, and they rolled a 10 power thing, which makes Shang-Chi coming out of here fine. I think I'd rather re-roll Iron Patriot than re-roll Kate, so we'll play him first since the first one could come back out. It's not the Shang-Chi we wanted for Christmas, but it'll do in a pinch. Do I want to try and win here? I'd rather try and win here in the center. Or Nintendo. So we don't actually get to know how big this Cassandra is because she doesn't steal power from spell cards. There could be a bunch of spell cards in their deck. Hopefully, with Galacta, we're going to be big enough. Or exactly enough actual cards in their deck to tie there. Nice. And now we go grapple into basic arrow, into Odin over here. There's 3 cards in my deck. One of them is a Shang-Chi. Not Iron Patriot. And I'll do Pig. That was the best one. Must be controlled. Images doesn't roll through here, right? Were we winning that regardless of the Shang? I think we were winning that regardless of the Shang, right? Because if we, let's say we'd hit even our worst hit, Iron Patriot, we'd still be at 13 here, and they would have been at 30, and they would have been plus 17, and we would have been at 22. So this actually didn't matter. It could have been our lowest possible roll here, and we still would have won the tiebreaker, being 17 to 17 in the middle. Is it possible for me to draw a card that means I can't Wiccan? I would have to draw exactly Shang-Chi into a chance. I'm gonna snap Badge Rapport here. Because it's likely a lot of points for us, and we're very likely triggering Wiccan. I think we're good. Did you get the Sage bundle? Nah, I don't need collector's tokens, and I like my existing Sage better. Speed is perfect. All right, just give me an acid arrow, Katie. Lovely, lovely. A lot of clutter. This is a pretty good one. If we don't win the coin flip here, they're gonna get their Iron Patriot trigger. Imagine not winning a coin flip, chat. Imagine not winning a coin flip. So, unironically here, I don't think I'm playing Wiccan, right? I think we're gonna fill this board up without it, but I think I just do this. Move rocket out of mid to leave their 10 power things. 10 power. That's an interesting thought. And the way this works out, if they juggernaut me here, I'm going to be at 12, 15, 16, and they'll be at 15, so I'm still winning the center through a juggernaut. I think they're, oh, they already juggernauted, you're right. If I get like Cosmoed or Armored or something, that's just something weird like an Eliath, yeah? I hope my opponent's having fun playing new Marvel Snap cards. Something that is often an enjoyable experience. Aren't new Marvel Snap cards fun? Marvel Snap's a fun skill-based game. I mean, it's definitely skill-based. Choosing not to play the card that everybody is Shang-Chi is a skill. That Sandcastle emote is so good. What a lovely hand. If this is a neutral or positive location, we'll probably snap here. That qualifies, yeah. I'm not going to snap because they're an Agamotto deck. So this location is very good for Agamotto. Cooked. Holy and fully. I mean, if I draw a Shang-Chi, I could coat myself in the Sting. Not for that much, Gamer. Have we tried Starbread yet? Card sucks. Shang-Chi's in 50% of the decks. Even if it's good, it's not very interesting. It's just big dub stats. At absolute best, boring and fine. Likely boring and bad, though. If this is neutral, I probably snap them before we put this up on the raft, yeah. You didn't even have a chance to snap. Fire Hair is definitely the card I'm looking forward to the most this month. G Suite. We're gonna have to disappoint a lot of people and tell them they can't play her without Misery, though. Rip this band-aid off and find out if we should retreat. Unironically, maybe we should, because we're not playing Lucas Cage. I guess an Enchantress over here would be good for us, though. What do we think of this? And then we just Wiccan with extra stuff next turn. Think I'm into it? If you posted anywhere your current thoughts on Stamp and Pocket, including your long-term plans, one thing I want to make very, very clear. There is absolutely no certainty in the industry in which I work, and there is a 0% chance I commit to long-term anything for any games. It is not a financially sound plan for me to make commitments. I think it's this, yeah. I think playing Gorgon here is better than playing Shang, because if I play Shang here and they play exactly one more card, it's really bad for me. Whereas this way, if I play Gorgon, I'm going up to 13, and if they play something else, they're losing 5 from Atlantis, so we need to add 8 here. And with them losing US Agent and Diamond back here, I imagine the Enchantress over here is probably going to be enough. His last words. My short-term plans for content are to do a healthy mix of both Marvel Snap and Pokemon Pocket. And if my enjoyment of either game changes or metrics for either game do something unexpected, that could change. But for the meantime, in between time, I'm planning to play a bit of each. My favorite, speaking of Pokemon, my favorite Marvel Snap Pokemon right there. The Enchantress. Ooh, man, what a close game. Holy. Damn, would have won with Gorgon on the right. I was hoping DC Dual Force would have been a good game. Yeah, unfortunately, those of us that played Hex TCG knew where that one was headed. He says he has a Hex TCG banner behind him. I think DC Dual Force set the land speed record for digital card games dying, which is impressive given Artifact's existence before it. We do not have priority here, so I'm just gonna Cassandra rather than trying to rocket and group. This is probably a mirror. They are notably bricked on their Wiccan though, yeah. Blood fan, thanks for the 23 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Are there any other upcoming digital card game releases? A lot of people not in the creator space probably don't realize it, but like, there are like a dozen half-baked card games that release every single year. Most of them just aren't worth looking at or talking about. I don't believe there's any other what I would consider major digital card games coming up, at least not any that are publicly announced. I don't believe. There's in terms of more minor ones, there's a fan, I don't even know if you call it a fan. There's an indie / smaller paper card game called Estrals that's made by a PokeTuber that kind of made their own Pokemon brand. They have paper cards, but their digital client went into closed beta, I think, recently. And their plan is to only monetize cosmetics. Like, every player will have every card in the game on login. Which, I hope they're successful. Everyone else who's tried that has failed, but it would be good for the industry if they were the first to succeed. We're really hoping for a grapple arrow here to be able to play into deep space. Yeah, truly, genuinely. I know it probably sounds a little sarcastic when I say that, but just like, truly, genuinely, it would be good for everyone in the industry if a card game that monetized only cosmetics found success. Good for consumers. If Riot can't do it, I don't know how an indie game does it. So, Alestrals, not Estrals, Alestrals. Thank you for the correction. It's worth noting that just because Riot couldn't do it doesn't mean it's not possible, because Riot had a ton of production money tied up in Runeterra, right? So, like, the bar for success is lower if your production costs are lower. Is like the TLDR. Can I stay here? I don't think I can. I don't think I can. I have Wicked energy. All right, we'll spew 4 cubes to see how it goes, but good. That was probably the best draw on my deck. I think we put this here to keep them honest. We put Wicked here as my biggest thing I can put there, and then we put these 2 in the center. I lose to Big Thing left, Big Thing right, which is a possibility. Oh, I forget all these decks are Juggernaut decks. We're winning the left, even without this having text, yeah? Oh, close game. One of those rare Mount Vesuvius games where, like, neither player... both players feel like they can stay, but neither feels like they're far enough ahead to snap. One of the locations get decided by a single point in one of those. Affected, I think. Oh, we'll do that slow but steady. In a location with 4 cards. Yeah, it's deck. By the way, for people who are a little soured on alliances and you're coming back to Marvel Snap if you haven't checked them out, 2 big things about alliances. First is that they added more generic missions, like just playing cards and spending energy to make them easier to complete. And 2, this week's alliance missions actually cut the requirements to max things out by a lot. Your personal alliance max is 3,500, and the full alliance only needs 80,000 points, as opposed to the previous 120,000 points. I'm not gonna tell you the system's not still chores, because it does have some chore vibes in a few ways, but it is markedly better than it previously was.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Does Groot still shoot this? Yes, there are fewer chores, and you're more likely to complete said chores organically. Is a perfect way to put it. I think I'm doing this, and then I go 4/4 next turn. Them also having Sam here means they're not locked over here, which makes this a lot more complicated. Can I stay? I don't know that I can. So this is -2, but then +2, so it's +1, and then I go to 14. And then they're getting +1 here. They'd only need 8 to beat me. I'm beginning to dislike playing against Scream Deck. She must have been on a Marvel Snap break a little while ago. The Scream Deck was the best deck in the metagame for a long while, is my understanding, and it was very hated by the community. People hate having their cards pushed around. Eat a steak. Thank you for the 15 months. Appreciate you hanging out in Hoaglandia here for over a year. Welcome back. By the way, for the regulars who don't follow me on other bits of Discord or Blue Sky or whatever and didn't see the schedule for the week, we're gonna be doing all Marvel Snap today is the plan, and then tomorrow will be all Pocket. Do a little bit of experimenting with how I'm lining up the schedule, some all alternating days. Trying to figure out how exactly I wanna line things up long term. An Aeroshem Thina. Oh, and we have Gorgon. All right, I'll step. They could shag us on the left, but we'll play some things that aren't shangable there after. Alright, so Quinjet and Gorgon offset each other. Sam's a great draw, because he lets me go speed plus Sam next turn. Well, do I go Cassandra plus Sam next turn? Maybe I go Cassandra plus Sam next. Maybe I Galacta here to give me flexibility on where I put her trigger. Means I don't have it on the last turn, though.
Power must be controlled. Power must be controlled.
And then shield here means that we're beating the Theta trigger. And then these two realistically beat a lot of what they play here. Says Local Man about to lose to a randomly generated Dr. Doom. These gamers have exactly one mode, and it's play tech cards. Shang-Chi being 50% of the metagame definitely narrows the types of decks you can play a little bit, but it's not too bad to play around if you play the appropriate decks. All right, we're gonna play some more of this after the ad break. We do take a pause for the cause and pay some bills. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Don't go anywhere, gamers. If you're watching on the YouTube side and you're enjoying the Marvel Snap content, be back. Make sure you tap the like button on the live stream and the other content I'm putting out. Lets the algorithm know that we're back making stuff, and it forwards it to more people that might enjoy it that might have otherwise fallen off. Speaking of supporting my stuff, thanks to the folks that checked out Matchmasters using my link. G-Man Ziri, Groove Again, and Ariana for farming through a bunch of trophies here recently. If you're one of my regulars at home, subs, you're going to get an ad too, because we've got a sponsor. Check out GrabTab. It's this really cool, neat new sponsor platform where, as always, when I have a mobile game sponsor, there's goals for you to do at home that help me, but now the goals can help you. When you check out Matchmasters or the other games that they have on the site, and you pick me as your creator of choice, you earn points on GrabTap for completing goals. For Matchmasters, it's earning trophies. Different games have different ones, and then you can turn those points into gift cards for real life stuff like Amazon, Target, Dunkin' Donuts, and others. Check them out using my link. I dip back into Snap, and I have so much FOMO with all these new cards. Well, I mean, like, Starbrand's kind of nice in that aspect, right? So it's just like an real easy skip. What are the returning ones this week? This whole week's a super easy skip. Starbrand, Scarfastos. Snoozers. Yeah, next year, real sweet. Them putting Nico in with Firebrand is lovely. If you're missing Nico, spend all your keys next week. How many Agamotto decks do you have loaded up today? I think I imported at least one. I put together like a dozen different things. I don't have a schedule of exactly what I'm playing today. We're just gonna be vibes based for the most part. Neutral or positive location, probably snapping this. I think that qualifies, yeah. A lot of spotlight caches are rough for me because I'm only missing just the new card. I mean, that's a testament to how well the system works typically, yeah? You have a lot of Series 4 or 5 cards, so it's hard to get extra value, quote unquote. Chimichangas. Galacta loves Chimichangas chat. She just goes absolutely crazy for Taco Tuesday. It's pronounced G-Man is ear. Well, I just gotta let you know that if you're someone who uses a username that has multiple words in it on Twitch, and your username isn't camel cased, you have only yourself to blame when a Twitch streamer mispronounces it. Oh, goodness me. Oh my, oh my. I was trying to drag this over to here. I definitely messed up and thought this was Sam Wilson. I was like, why can't I drag the shield? What's going on? So I didn't Cassandra here because, I think they're a Mr. Negative deck. Having Iron Patriot of the Nexus is a pretty big punt here for us. All these superhero dorks with America flags, they all just blur together, gamers. I can't decide if I'm enchantressing this turn or next. I think it's next turn. It's close though. Cutting them off of Ravona early is appealing. We could be cooked here. They let me limp, I'm gonna limp. I'm excited for their one negative card they drew to be Iron Man.
I am.
Or Mystique for the Iron Man. Oh no! See, Chad, I should have Enchantress last turn.
Iron Man.
Wow, yeah, they were only remotely in this because I didn't Enchantress the Ravona the previous turn. You put it. Really, definitely a throw on my part. Should not have played Wiccan. Too caught up in getting value out of my cards, and this is not a matchup that's about value. It's a matchup about disrupting them. Their numbers are better than ours, so we need to just stop theirs from happening as opposed to prioritizing doing our stuff. One of the good parts of taking a break is I have more cards in Spotlight Caches. Yeah, they are a form of a catch-up mechanic. They're not perfect, but in some ways they do purpose. Depends on how they light up and which cards you missed. All right, 4 2s out of 8 cards here. 4 2s out of 8 cards. Nice. Do we snap that? I'll snap that. Gorgon. It's a Gorgon into what's his name deck? Agamotto deck. We do really need Sam to pull this stupid shield out of the Nexus, though. Nice. Okay. So we're gonna Wiccan. That way we can Sam plus something else next turn is the plan. Do I play around Acid Arrow? I think I do, yeah. It doesn't cost me much. Like, I'm not super excited to have Iron Patriot here, but like the upside of tagging Acid Arrow is so high. And then Ultron here means that they can't Juggernaut me, which is fun. It fills the board. Yeah, plays around Shang real clean too. Speed goes up to 9. Hey, Francisco. Thanks for hanging out for almost 2 years. Come back. Good morning. Odrin, thank you for the brand new primer. It's nice when folks find a couple of buckaroos from Jeffrey Bezos and send them my way. You won't even notice it's missing. Who doesn't love taking money from the oligarchs? Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Lucky. Ooh, Iron Fist is actually very scary here. Wait, Falco is the most expensive thing in their hand? This dagger could get me. Yes, I'm aware what deck they're playing. It's just not a common deck. It's not anymore.
Minions to me.
Dagger is gonna be a big lady. I assume this is Iron Fist, Dagger, Ghost Spider. Oh, they have something, not... What's it called? Silver Sable is one that's not super. I don't hate this, and then we Enchantress the right plus Captain Marvel the last turn. Their ordering was wrong. Yeah, they didn't end on Dagger, they ended on Silver Sable, so they can't Ghost Spider the Dagger now. They might be planning to Ghost Spider something else, but they definitely should have left themselves the option. And then Enchantress shuts off Gore and wins us the right, and the hope is 8 power Captain Marvel wins here or here, depending on how their stuff plays out. Yeah, I think we have to go when they play Cloak, right? Because I'm not guaranteed to hit the gore anymore. I shouldn't retreat later here. They're gonna take freaking forever. And build your own New York.
Escape.
Just Agamotto. It's Kate. Kate means we can spend 3 energy next turn. Stop playing Marvel Stat for 4 months. Okay to catch up, or is it hard? I mean, you'll never have all of the cards in Marvel Snap without spending money. Can eventually get all of them without spending money, but how long it takes varies depending on. Pick it up. This is Rocket and Groot. I don't know. I've never played a successful mobile game where people were happy with the economy, so Marvel Snap's not really any exception to that rule. Maybe their upcoming economy rework in the summer here will surprise us, but I also don't expect that you'll be able to magically get everything for free under it, so I expect people will still complain. I've never played a game where people are happy. That's true. Because people are even like big mad about the idea that one-time fee games are going to be increasing their costs. Never mind the fact that like regular video games have cost what they cost for like 3 decades now. I think we're dead to double Rocket and Groot. This is also a Rocket and Groot. And unironically, people being mad about the prospect of one-time cost games getting more expensive is a big part of why even regular PC games that aren't mobile games have become free to play, we're gonna nickel and dime you games. Because the same people that'll complain about a $100 like full game with no other costs will like happily spend that much money or more over the course of the lifespan of playing something else that's free most of the time. The Bazaar community is imploding because they introduced monetization for the open beta and people are being extra dramatic. So I actually think the Bazaar is one of the few cases where I am wholly and fully on the side of the community freaking out. Because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the Bazaar promised they weren't gonna monetize the things they decided to monetize, right? Which that's trash. Like there's a difference between we don't like how this is monetized, and we were told one thing, and now you've rug pulled us. Very early rug pull. It's not like they got very far with how their monetization was going to go. And I like I said, I try to be as like objective as possible when it comes to these things. You'll hear people call me lots of things because I try and point out the realities of these, but I don't see an angle. I don't see an angle where you can remotely defend what happened with the Bazaar. This deck doesn't feel like it can ever be a Scream deck. It probably needs Luke Cage. Rocket and Groot's also felt a little tough. I cut though. The Shang's been okay. Listen, and I'm actually gonna time you out because I hate the revisionist history. Old games haven't been $60 for a while now. DLCs and battle passes are all forms of price increases when we used to pay $60 for a complete game. Diablo 2 release date. Diablo 2 was released in June 28th, 2000. This game had an expansion. Heck, Diablo 1 had an expansion, right? I'm like 90% sure. This game's 30 years old and it had an expansion. So no, DLCs and expansions are not remotely due. And you're right, the quality of some of those varies. The quality of those expansions varies, but that was true 20 years ago too, right? Like, not every expansion that you bought 20 years ago was a expansion that gave as much stuff as Diablo 2 did, right? So, yes. The biggest news there is that 1996 was almost 30 years ago, yeah. So I hate when people are like, this is new. It's like, no. It's not. It's always been there. Like, maybe you weren't paying attention to it, but it's always been there. Yeah, not every expansion is Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. Blood and Wine is, like, unironically better and longer than most standalone video games. And I want to make it very clear, it's fine to lament the fact or like feel priced out of things. Like I understand that. That's sad when you feel priced out of something. I just hate when people like replace their feelings and act like my feelings are reality. That's a big part of why we're in the mess we're in, like globally, is we ignore what people, so many people ignoring very pointedly what reality is. And just running with their feels. I skipped. Yes, which 3 or 4 energy card did you want me to play on turn 2? The original Diablo expansion wasn't even done by Blizzard. It was made by Sierra, their publisher, for an attempt to simply milk more money out of it at the time. So it was like actually wholly and fully what modern monetization was, right? That's funny. I actually didn't know that bit about the Diablo 1 expansion, it being the publisher and not Blizzard. Here's an interesting chart. Inflation adjusted price for March, and this is even before inflation went crazy in the last little bit, yeah? So when you compare it pound for pound, 1985 40 versus 114, and now they're like, that's wild. And I knew the numbers looked something like that, but it's interesting to see them laid out so pointedly. I'm gonna say one last thing on it, and then I'm gonna move on from the topic, because I know it's endless and annoying. But just to really hammer home, the human being problem is, it's one of those things why people always complain about free-to-play games because they don't like the monetization, but they also don't want to pay a regular price for a regular game either, right? So, like, the companies decided to make these games more free-to-play because they get more money from them and people complain less. Oh, I should play into Forge for a Sentinel, 100%. I was talking to Clickin'. I didn't have a 2, but that was the right play. Please be Dakin. Please be Dakin. Yes, that's also super true, Wrestlin'. For a lot of especially single player content, sales are very regularly a thing, and most people don't play full sticker price for most of the games that they're buying. Is a great did I forget to move the shield? I think I forgot to move the shield. Man, we're so fragged on talking and clicking this afternoon. You see how awful game monetization is, chat? You see how many mistakes it's made me make? Not my fault. Not my fault. This is only one more than Gorgon. I think I Gorgon. So my, Sam Wilson is missing... this also makes Dakin things cost more, which is nice. And Sentinels and stuff. No, I'm not moving shield this time, chat, because the Strange Academy is moving them together. So, moving the shield last turn, though, cost me 4 points, because I would have moved it here and back. No, it's only 2. I missed 2. That's fine. Be okay. And then we'll Enchantress here. I think they're more likely to play here, right? So I'll put Rocket Groot in the middle, and I'll put this here with my my what's it called trigger.
Victory.
What are your more power? Yeah. Actually. Legendary. Man, look at these gamers with more points than me in the Alliance chat. They have my Wiccan. Mobius. We don't care about that one. You do need to draw one of our 4 2-drops, though. Coin flip. Just unlucky. Get to snap me here and I have to leave probably. It's pretty good. Can I stay? I don't know that I can fill Nidavellir without Wiccan is the problem. Okay, Kate potentially changes the dynamic. We have enough stuff for here. Scissor, thank you for the 69-month resubscription. A long time, welcome back. Annabelle. It's possible we win this game. This is one of those games where I wish I could play it out without the stat mechanic. Because, like, I think maybe we could win it, but I also don't think that enough to, like, it be worth risking cubes for. I really hope they get rid of Conquest as a permanent game mode and make us a permanent game mode where there's no stat mechanic. Whether it's high voltage or Sanctum Sanctorum, just I really truly wholly feel like we need at least one place in Marvel Snap where I could go and not snap. The mechanic's good, and it's skill testing. It's just sometimes I really want to play a game that doesn't involve it. Like here, I'm going to push the button, and then there's a chance my opponent leaves. Game doesn't play out, but it's right to push the button here. I personally would really love Sanctum all of the time with a little bit more curated ban list. I need to put freaking Luke Cage in this deck, gamers. Rotating ban list. No, I don't think a ban list needs to be rotating. And I'm going to move the shield here now because I think they're going to move my cards regardless, so I might as well control what's getting the penalty this turn. Real question is going to be is, does their deck have room for a Luke Cage? Dead here. Are we? Do you think they're guaranteed to move my cards? Probably. And I get like Magneto'd on the right. Or on the left. Yeah. I'm gonna be a incredibly typical Twitch chatter and make the assertion that this deck 100% needs a Luke Cage. Did Enchantress do anything for us in that set? Or is that the cut? It's probably the cut, just like tech card for tech card. I feel like we shagged people a few times. But even the couple of times I ended up enchantressing people, it was largely to take care of things that Luke Cage would have taken care of. Yeah, but like Shag would have hit the gore too, so I think that's my swap at the end of this. Because if I'm playing Luke, Enchantress also becomes worse. Cause it's another ongoing for me as well. I think I'd make this swap. We hit the Scream deck a couple of times. That just like folds like a wet noodle to this card, in addition to it mitigating location variants. I think that would be my swap at the end here. Man, this deck is not budget friendly, huh? There aren't really substitutions you can make. Probably just look for other different Wiccan deck. But this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Series 5 cards, a Series 4, a starter, and then a 3. Yeah. Yeah. You could probably sub this for a different 3. Is probably the one that you could put out, but the rest of them, there really aren't other good 2s. These 3 are just like the best 3 on curve 2s by a lot. Gorgon substitutable. He could be another 2 that's just like a hate card. And you can play out proactively, but just like Kate, Iron, Patriot, and Sam Wilsers, like these are the 3 best on curve 2s you can play by a wide margin. What did we finish at? Do I have stats? Untap says we finished 50-50.